All right, Jeff, man, this is a great day. We got Mr. Rick Ruhl with us today. How are you doing, Rick?
Good. How y'all doing?
Man, it's so exciting to have you here today. We really are excited to have you.
Thank y'all for having me.
Yeah.
Just a little ride with me and my boy Craig. We're just up now from Memphis.
Sweet.
Good day. Good day.
Yeah, this is only 35 years in the making for me.
Right.
As usual, I'm meeting the guest for the first time, hitting record 5 minutes in.
Right.
But then Jeff's got the history behind you and EMN.
I'm meeting him for the first time as well, but I've been following him for a long time.
That's right, because you went to EMN shows back in the day, right?
Yep. Back in the late,
You've seen a lot of mistakes, didn't you?
Well, hey, that happens. That happens.
It's a work in progress.
The good thing is that way back then, there were no cell phones recording everything that happened, and there was a lot of alcohol and drugs involved, so we don't remember the screw-ups.
Yeah.
I will say I have seen you play twice since before this. Once at Neil's and then at Hadley's later. So awesome. We've had your boy Alan Bone on.
Right on.
And he was awesome. He was early.
He's a good cat, man.
Yeah.
I can't believe I lived in Memphis for since '89 and never bumped into him, run into him at a club ever. Never seen him, nothing.
Crazy.
And great guy.
Alan
great
Bone
drummer.
being the drummer.
He's the drummer. The motor.
So let's start from the beginning, shall we? Where are you from?
I am from basically Blount County, Knoxville.
Okay.
Oak Ridge, Gatlinburg. It's a little town called Lenore City, but it's about that big.
East Tennessee.
Yeah.
Are you? Is that hitting the mountains?
Yeah, right at them. Right. I lived at the 129 interstate is 11 miles. It's got 211 hairpin curves in it. So
you've counted
going from Knoxville to North Carolina, riding motorcycles over that hill. So
he's counted every one of them.
Yeah.
What kind of motorcycles you ride?
Oh man, right now I'm R1s and Harley Davidsons. I raced Yamahas and R1s, and I just got me my first Harley. So
I didn't know that you raced.
I've fallen off motorcycles for
Holy crap.
for years.
Yeah, and an R1's not something you really want to fall off of.
I have no business being on a motorcycle. I'm zero business.
I've always been fascinated by things that go fast.
Right.
Mostly cars because they have four wheels. I like to be inside of something. So I've never had a motorcycle, but
there's a different feeling falling off. I fell off at running at Talladega and went through a sweeper turn in about fifth gear. About 140 mile an hour and wrecked for about 14 minutes, it seemed like.
You fell for a long time, yeah.
So what brought you to Memphis? When did that happen?
They used to have a thing called I guess they started calling it Producer Showcase, but before that it was called, I can't even remember. That's just where all the bands from around here, they would put on showcases for labels. And, I was living in Nashville at the time then, and somehow we got hooked up with Eli Ball down here. He was a producer, and he'd recorded the Delta Rebels and some other stuff. And he got us to come down and play. And the first night we were here, they put us in, we were at the New Daisy, but they put us next door at Proud Mary's. And I think we put like 600 people in there the first night. And next morning we were talking to Ariston, and everything changed.
The rest was history.
Yeah.
Man, back when it was just... It seemed easier back then.
Everybody was going to L.A. and I'm like, man, I was in Knoxville, so I said every label that's in L.A. is right here in Nashville. All you got to do is make enough noise and get them to come see, just to see what you are, you know?
Yep.
So we proceeded with that method.
Well, you guys definitely made enough noise to catch Ariston's attention.
Right. Clive Davis come down and, he's been with everybody, Aerosmith, Joplin, everything.
Oh, sure, yeah. Did you do any recording or anything in Music Row?
Oh yeah. We had came here and done the first two records, and we got with a new manager and we started working with Ross Hogarth, which he engineered Girls, Motley Crue record, and we did that right up there in Nashville, and we were just trying to revamp because music changed. When Pearl Jam and all that started happening, music changed, and and that's not a bad thing because our music was kind of watered down. And
he and I have had this conversation numerous times.
I'm the age where Nirvana was it for me.
Right.
Like I grew up on people are probably sick of hearing me say this, but, when I was 10, 11, 12, I was all about Def Leppard Hysteria. That was the cassette.
Yeah.
Motley Crue and Europe, Final Countdown.
Right.
Like I was jamming those, cassettes in my Walkman, but then, Nirvana hit when I was 14, right? Bam, and so I'm part of that group. And the 80s hair band, if you will. Yeah. Towards the end there, it was a little.
If you got any kind of deal anywhere in the 80s, you're marked for life as hair bands.
Yeah.
I'm in a rock band. I'm just in a rock and roll band,
No question. And I've never thought of EMN as a hair band.
I mean,
for the ones only listening, I definitely did the air quotes for the hair band, because it gives a bad name. It does. I mean, some of them fall under that. Let's be real. There was a lot of cookie cutter stuff that they needed to be pushed to the side, but I'm hearing this story so much, interviewing people like yourself.
The cool thing, my biggest thing is when we were doing our second record, I was fighting with Arista every day because they were wanting Love Can Make You Blind. And we've been out on the road and we're watching, we're playing with these bands and they're up and coming. We're like, man, street music's coming in. It's coming in, hard and straightforward and no polish, And,
flannel shirts and all.
Right.
You record a record for a couple, $700, $800, $900 and sell 9 million copies,
Oh, I know.
That changed the whole world for everybody.
Well, and look, quite honestly, the music EMN has put out has been on the heavier side of rock music.
It's a little dark.
Now the stuff, I learned of you guys during that first album, Love Can Make You Blind. I've always loved that song. And I realized that there may be times when you kind of want to go towards the heavier stuff, but hey, I know that song puts you on the map.
Hey, that song, I had a lot of years with that song where I would just half-ass it or whatever.
Right.
Because I've been playing that song, Long Haired Country Boy, Walls. I got to play them every night, so I started slacking on love. And everywhere we go, somebody wants to hear that song.
Sure.
So, and like I said, you got to dance with what brung you. So when we did Resurrect the Faithful, I just said, y'all care if we do I asked the band, I said, y'all care if we record? I don't want to try to redo it or make it anything like the old one. I said, this is just this is how this band now plays this song the way we do it. And it's, I think it's better. It's just, it's more stripped back.
I've heard it and I like it.
And that's the thing, man. That's the whole reason it got on there was, just for that fan. The fans that have been with us everywhere we go, we've known people since the first time we went out. They bring us food. People we've known so many years. They're staying on the bus all weekend with us, bring their kids, and so it's cool.
That's awesome.
Well, let's talk about the current lineup. So we got on drums Alan Bone, as we mentioned, Troy Fleming on bass, the coolest looking fucking bass player in town.
I told him when Troy first showed up at my house, I opened the door and I said, man, I don't even care if you can play. You hold the bass, you're in.
I want to meet him.
You're hired.
I want to meet him because he also sounds great, great guitar. But dude, Troy Fleming, man.
Well, he's been with me, 29 years, 20 something like that. But he's like the, I sing to him more than anything. I always turn his amps in right in here. He plays everything he plays is great. Plays something different. He don't just stand there and
gets up on the mic and
he
barks
plays
on the
stuff
mic.
Wrong. That's why we like it or not.
You got John Guttery.
Yes,
is that how you say it?
Yes,
on guitar. Then the other guitar player is Travis Butler.
They're this band. I lucked into this band because you run into chemistry. I've run into it 2 or 3 times maybe. This last one, it shouldn't work on paper because John is left field Unabomb killer, but just an incredible guitar player. And then, Gunner is just, he's Aerosmith pretty much, but he's just one of them roots guitar players, great solos, everything, but they're so different in the way they work it out. It's incredible. And then, Bone stepped in, and that's my biggest thing is finding somebody that, because I talk like this. You got to do that.
Right.
And he understands.
He can translate.
So he makes it
I want
happen.
a little rat-a-tat-tat here
Yeah.
and a little boom over there, But we've built a neat little relationship with Alan now over time, and just saw him a couple nights ago as we record this with Midnight Train.
He's a good cat.
Yeah, he's really cool, and man, just a heavy hitter, so he fit right in.
Yeah.
And he told a little story about this too, and then I'm interested to ask you, like you said before the mics turned on, how all these years your paths never crossed with him, but it turns out to be a great pairing. So
I don't know. I called a friend of mine that was in the Fast Mothers, and I was needing a drummer. He said, I got the dude, and I went up to this place called Hadley's in Memphis and hung out with him, and we didn't even talk about it. I said, man, I need a drummer, and we talked for a second, and he wasn't somebody who was just sitting there going, I got this, and I can do this. And we didn't talk about nothing else all night, and he came over, and we had been playing, doing something. We were trying out some people, and we'd spent 3 days on one song with somebody, and Alan came in first night, and we probably burned through 8 and then threw 3 more together fast, and he had it. He's good. Yeah. And he's a brawler.
He looks the part too. Right. Like you guys look like
he's on our side.
I mean this in the nicest way, but you guys are the scariest band I've ever seen in Memphis.
We're a little angry. We've had a COVID from COVID to now has been pretty rough on this band, but we haven't had no easy road to hoe. So but we're just rock and roll. What you're going to hear is we play what we live what we play, and we recorded Resurrect, and John came out of the studio and goes, every one of these songs, he goes, I said, yeah, you're this far away from everything that happened on every song on that record.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's talk about the new record, because there was a big gap in time, right? Yeah. So what's the genesis of how that new album came up, and what's the story behind that?
Well, I got with a friend of mine, Bill, from High Vol Records, and we had already had a little, we have 5 songs? 5-song EP done, and we were just, trying to sell it out of our trunk and stuff. And we played in Houston, and a friend of ours down there from K-Nack saw us, and he called Bill Chavis up and said, hey, man, you heard what the Nightmares are doing? So when we did Grind, I went to Justin Reimer, and I said, there's a couple of producers in Memphis right now that are really just good. They're on the game right now, and I got with him, and I figured he wasn't even going to deal with me. I ain't going to mess with no hair band. So, but I just went there and I said, we need this. We need what we're doing put in today's picture frame setting, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
And it worked. And Bill heard it, and as soon as he heard it, he was like, well, let's throw 3 more songs. Let's just do a full record. And the time span between those 2 records was, we rode that record for 3.5 years, man. We didn't even know it. Felt like we did it for like 12 months or so, but we rode that thing when we went over the United States, back, everywhere.
So the album put you on the road pretty good?
Yeah, I mean, we were until COVID hit, we were never home. That's why our friends said, man, y'all are gone all the time. So,
playing festivals or
anything,
standalone?
Anything, somebody's living room, I don't care.
Were you selling some tickets too in some areas?
Oh, yeah, we was doing good. We sold a lot of records on that little record.
That's awesome.
We sold a big pile of records for doing it.
And
that's great.
Where'd you record that?
Justin Reimer, I think it was Crosstracks?
Yeah. Crosstracks,
yeah. Okay.
Man, so when COVID hit, man, that just screwed up so much shit.
Yeah. When we came home, it was me and somebody, we'd already got it one time, and it was right when it first hit, and we didn't even know what it was. But I mean, this flu's been here for like 2 months. Yeah, it's killing us. But we started writing, and so when we were writing Resurrect, I said, I want to do this record, but I don't want it to be anything like we've done. Everything we do has got to come, from a different, as far as punches coming in, songs, titles. I changed every way I do choruses and everything, and and we just started focusing, and all this stuff hit. But right when the record was finished, we were coming out of it, so we threw a single out, and it took off, and then it really kicked in, and it was that yeah. And here we are.
Well, the COVID's behind us.
Right.
Even if it's not, we've all said, you know what, go fuck yourself, and we're moving on with our lives.
Right.
Well, I'll tell you this last thing on this, the Grind record, the last show we did for that label was High Vol. They were friends of ours. I'd known them 8 years before I even signed with them. And, we went out and played their outdoor event, and we all left, and I got COVID again. I'd had it 4 times. I got COVID, he got COVID, Troy got COVID, and the president of my label, Bill, and his wife, they died, and so
my goodness,
so it hit me pretty hard for a minute because I was like, why were we all there, and how come they died? And I've been through every single bad thing in the world. I should have been first one out, but
I get it.
Surviving the apocalyptic meltdown like a roach.
But I will say, the stuff we've written for this next record, we've got 4 recorded, and we've got it's so it's about this much higher than Resurrect and this much to the left. But
we can't just breeze past that. No. So Every Mother's Nightmare is working on a new album. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, it's called the record's going to be in a. I was in my living room, and I heard this commercial, and at the end of it, guy goes, "Crazy good." And I said, "What? Crazy good?" And I said, if something's good, something's crazy good, it's got to be good.
There you go.
And the first real hard song written was Crazy Good, and so that's what I'm going to call the record Crazy Good. But we've got 4 already recorded, probably 10 or 12 that we could fumble through.
How many do you want total?
I would probably do 15 songs. Right now, if the way we're going, we'll have 20 or 30 because we're just writing every week.
With 15, that's a big album.
Yep.
But the strong stay, the weeks fall off. So
Yeah, you got to record a lot, right, and then chip away.
Well, any time we rehearse at my house, and I got a studio in there, so anytime we're playing, there's a red button on.
Sure.
Just for ideas, because we've lost so many things. We'll just start playing something and try to remember it. In the shower, you're like, I can remember that. I can't remember that.
Now, is this going to be recorded at Supernova?
Yeah.
Awesome.
That's that's right behind where I live. And
okay.
I don't know, we went to that place, and we were just talking to them about it, and we just had a little sit down, and they turned around and said, I tell you what, you come in and record, and your record's going to sound good. And it's going to cost $20,000 million.
Right.
And I went in there, and I was in my pajamas for 2 weeks there.
There you go.
Comfortable. I mean, the whole studio's set up for, you used to, when you go in a big studio, you're in there and you're like, it's kind of scared this place when you go in there. And Dave's like the 5th member. We bounce everything off him.
Does he know that y'all are looking to come in and cut a new record with him? Or?
Oh, we've already cut 4 for the new record.
Oh, so you've already yeah. Oh, so that's right. Of course, you've already cut 4. And,
we got to visit that studio. Our friends in Fever Tree asked us to come in.
I got to put a record on that wall.
Yeah, we saw it. Very cool.
I told him, I said, I'm coming in here one day. I'm going to open this door. I was going to bring a big old nail and just put it right crooked somewhere, but.
Yeah,
it's amazing he can fit a drum set in the tracking room because it's just walls of amps and guitars.
I don't know how he gets the tone out there because it's just it's crazy good.
It does sound great. Yeah.
Well, we are definitely looking forward to new music from Every Mother's Nightmare.
This is awesome exciting. News. And then I would gather when you are ready to release it, are you going to really try to push it? You're going to try to get on the road more? How does that looking?
That is we're with Dark Star now, Dark Star Records, and they were wanting us to do a record, but I couldn't sit, and have to write a record, and so I talked them into let's re-release, Resurrect the Faithful, and put some of these back records out, and started writing and stuff, and I sent them the first 2, and it's good.
They were
so,
pretty happy with that,
right?
So
what's the writing process typically like? Are you coming up with the lyrics first, or is it from jams?
To be honest, it's a fight. Well, first thing I told Troy when he got in the band, I said, if you want something in this band and the way I work, if you want something, you got to stand up for it. And you got to,
right.
If you want it, you can be one man. If you stand up, tough enough, you can get your way. But that's the way we do. We just get in there and fight. But usually, John or Gunnar, somebody, they'll start playing a riff, and the thing with me, I don't write lyrics down. I don't write them till when I put them down. I put them in the studio. I make it up as I go when I'm in the studio. The whole time we're playing, I'm just making rhymes with stuff, words that rhyme with it, or just keep me on the track, and it drives David Cow mad. But it's just he'll start playing, and it hits me, and then we just start bouncing stuff off. And that's my favorite thing about writing and doing music. Playing, money, all that, nothing matters. But when you're in the room and 5 people and it clicks and everybody gets it and it starts happening, it's
Absolutely.
It's a beautiful thing. And,
it's fulfilling. And then you have this awesome thing to show for it.
Right. And like I said, God gave me the art of coming up with these. He's been giving me really good lyrics lately. And, but he gave me he put a little clown pause in there where hard to read. You got dyslexia, can't read for crud. And
you have dyslexia?
Yeah, bad.
I did not know this. Huh? That's a challenge to be a musician and write lyrics. Wow.
So that's why I hit record. Everything goes.
Sure.
And then sometimes you hear something and go, ah.
Right.
A great example of you can't let something like that hold you back.
Nope.
No.
There's a way. Just figure out another way to do it.
I can do it.
Clearly you can do it, sir.
Well, I definitely want to backtrack a little bit because I know Every Mother's Nightmare from 1990.
Right.
I was heavy into the Memphis music scene at that time, following all the people here who put Memphis on the map as far as rock music was concerned. And I know you guys got signed to Arista, and that first album was a huge part of my teenage years. I was 20. I guess you could still say teenage years.
Sure. I'm still a teenager.
So once you guys are signed to Arista and you hit the road in support of the album, did you guys ever have your own tour, or were you mainly an opening act for other major tours, or how did all that work?
Man, we played with everybody and God and His disciples. We started out. We were out with a band called Baton Rouge. I think that's what they're called.
Okay.
And we were opening up for them for $50 a night for like 6 weeks or so, and then I think Walls came out. But when Love hit, it was all different.
Yeah.
Everything changed, and we just started playing. We went from playing, rat holes and $50 a night to it was literally, we were here and we were supposed to be in Tampa, and this show was 5,000 seater and Tampa was 19,000.
Wow.
So, it went from, a couple hundred people to 5,000 the next morning, and we were going to blow that show off, because we were in Milwaukee. And we had to be in Tampa to play the next morning. It was like, that's a big hump.
Yeah.
But we went, and that was my first time there, headlining Livestock, and
it's great.
Yeah, I was like, he goes, all these people know your song. I said, the DJ dinner, he goes, y'all know y'all got like a number 3 song in the country right now. I was like, no, we've been in a van for the last year. We don't know what's going on. We got to eat. We got to play at night.
Now, this is a question that I always like to ask artists who've had the privilege of playing in front of 19,000 people. Were you nervous?
Oh man, I don't know what I can say on here, but it's like somebody
you say whatever you want.
It's like somebody take a 220 electrical cord and jammed it right in there, and it's on.
Does that over time? Does that lessen? Because to me, if you're playing in front of 19,000 people, I don't give a shit if you've done it 100 times or 5,000 times.
You would hope, yeah.
You would think that you would still have that freaking nerve.
Oh, it's nerve. I played in front of 67,000. I was nervous that day.
Wow.
I was nervous, but yeah, man, I love playing Murphy's in Memphis. That's
sure.
I get
it.
All everybody I know. All my friends are in there. Everybody make mad, piss off, whatever.
Right. I've yet to go to there. I've got to check out Murphy's.
That's the most live, raw place to play. They don't have nothing like but the singer.
And original music friendly, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Very cool.
That's the thing about Memphis. Nashville had a music scene, but it was all based around country, and there was nowhere except going to L.A. And like I said, somebody said, "Hey, y'all come down here and play this thing in Memphis." We played 13 shows. Next thing you know, we got a deal. We didn't even know how to record yet. So.
That's crazy.
And Memphis was just a hot spot.
Yeah.
I would have never known that growing up. It's just every time we get someone in from your era here, it's just Memphis. Man.
Right.
It's just had it.
And the bands like Randy Mike and Jeff and them from TNA, and there was just great bands here. Every night you go out on Wednesday and the place be packed, and it'd be a great band. And
I was there a lot of times.
Right.
Upstairs at Rascals.
Rascals.
Lord.
There we go. There's
I used to
Rascals
live
again.
in the house right behind that parking lot, right behind Rascals.
Is that right?
Yeah, I walked down there many times at daylight.
That was convenient, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yes, it was.
A
It
little
was
too
inconvenient sometimes.
A little too We can keep going here.
Did I go up or did it go down?
There's no telling.
It's limping. It's limping. It's
falling.
limping out.
the mic here. Oh, there we go.
So yeah, the Rascals was such an amazing place, and I don't think I ever saw EMN at Rascals, but God, I saw so many bands there. I saw you guys at the Daisy, which was awesome because that was a huge crowd.
Oh, that place was packed, man.
That was a big one.
So I always forget this question. I'm going to remember it today because I think it's cool knowing the origin story behind bands' names.
Yep.
So let's please learn how Every Mother's Nightmare came to be.
All right, here's the guff on it. So I put the band together. I had this manager in Nashville, Doc Fields, and I joined this band. I was in a band called Hard Knocks, and they had a record out, and I got fired. And a band in Nashville that the singer for Hard Knocks was singing for, they just switched singers. I went to Nashville, and so I got down there, and they already had a manager, but I wasn't digging the band. So he said, "Well, make your band what you want, and let me know when you're done." So I moved into a 10 by 20 storeroom down there behind in Antioch, close to the bowling alley.
Yep.
I'd go bowling down there with Tanya Tucker and stuff. But I didn't have no bathroom. I had a TV, I had a guitar, a couple of guitars, and no windows, nothing. I lived in that thing, and I put a band together, and I had a couple of songs. I called him up, and he came out, and he had us a deal.
Wow. So, but how'd the name came to be?
Well, our first show, we went to Nashville. He goes, "We're going to play this weekend. What are y'all going to be called?" And we did it for a joke. He goes, "I think we just call it Every Mother's Nightmare." And I was like, I said, "Well, use it this weekend."
20 years,
30 years later.
Yeah. So we'll come up with something else.
So, why those three words together?
The way, I guess it's the way we look, because we probably look like a couple of hookers or something at that point. But he said it, and it hit you enough, and I was like, I don't know if it's going to be full time, but it'll work this weekend. So.
Plus, EMN looks great and makes for a great logo.
That's why we dropped to that, because everywhere we played, it was like, EMN's coming. Everybody just started calling us EMN. So I started putting it on the record just to shorten it up, because
they kind of forced it, right?
Right.
You got to go with
Well, I always keep it. It got me here.
Absolutely here.
Yeah.
So, is there anything else that that we're missing here that you want to talk about, or?
Man, the only thing about this band is if you come and see us, just come open-minded, and just come. You don't expect anything, because it's just this is what we are.
It's loud, it's heavy,
and it's real. Every bit of it's real. We don't write songs where let's write a song about partying, or got to live it. I figure most of the writers that I've ever liked. They said they didn't start writing good. They, lived a bunch of bad things, I guess.
Well, now we're talking. Let's talk influences.
Right.
Who are your top influences?
Everybody from. Let's see. I guess my main influence would. My mom took me to see Alice Cooper, "Welcome to My Nightmare," when I was 7, and that was it. I learned every nuance of that record, and my mom and my Uncle Greg, he was a world-class drummer. He played all over the world.
Okay.
But but just my family. But my mom took me to see great bands. I went and seen Marshall Tucker, ELO, bands like that when I was, and I didn't like it then, but when I seen the concert, and then
especially ELO, that must have been a huge production.
I seen the last time they had the stage used to be a spaceship, and it was I've seen some great stuff. And my mom did that, and like my Uncle Jackie worked for Charlie Daniels for 29 years. He started out humping cables, and when he died, he was his tour manager. So.
Well, did that have something to do with the remake?
I did it a little bit, just because my family had worked with them, and you know, it wasn't like we were real close, but we called him. I called him and talked to him and asked him if I got his blessing on it.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't going to do no disrespect to him.
Sure.
You know? And he said, I said, you want to play fiddle on it? He goes, no, a little too fast for me, boy. Go ahead.
Well, I tell you what, that, remakes are a very cool thing. A lot of bands back from that era remade a lot of different songs. That is the most kick-ass version of Long-Haired Country Boy I've ever heard.
Yeah.
It had to be raucous, and it had to just be, I mean, that record, we tried to make it almost, because everything was so produced back then.
Right.
We just tried to make it sound bad.
Yeah. Well, no,
I wanted to rough it up a little bit.
And it really did sound more raw.
Yeah,
I mean,
it was.
I think it did well in that regard. But
songs like Lord Willing on there, nobody was playing, you know, don't know, baby, don't.
Right.
That's this bluegrass that we stealing.
Right.
So you mentioned, I heard you say something about you had a guitar with you when you lived in your little Antioch mansion.
I did.
So, so do you play? Do you write on guitar?
I love guitars. I've got 15 probably. My buddy, there's a buddy of mine in Memphis, Ziggy. He makes American Outlaws guitars, and he started making. I wanted a Fender Telly, one humbucker, nothing, volume knob. That's all I wanted.
Right.
You know, and I got a bunch of crap for it. Everybody's like, well, you got to put a blues pickup in there. I said, I'm not going for blues. I said, I want the wood, and I want the feeling from that guitar, but it's got to be different. You know? So, and I like to do things different. My favorite guitar I bought from I shouldn't say crackhead, but I bought it from a crackhead for like $42 or something like that. Yeah. But I don't even know what kind it is, but it's the most incredible sounding guitar.
$42 is very specific.
Right?
Crackhead, great deal.
Right?
Yeah. Was it 10% off?
Half, right?
That's awesome, man. Do you play drums, or have you dabbled in?
Started out playing drums. My uncle, he gave me a Ludwig smoking fire kit, but I can do a beat, but I'm not boned. I can't do. How do you hold this hand, make this one do this time, do this on this hand, and got feet going this way?
Yeah.
All limbs are doing something different. Yeah,
leave all that to Alan Bone.
Alan Bone's got that covered.
I'm doing good to remember where I'm at most of the time.
I'm looking forward to hearing this new music now that we're talking about that.
Please let us know when you're fixing to start putting it out in the world, man. We'll do what we can to help you with that.
I'll give you this. One night we practice, 2 or 3 nights a week, Tuesday, Friday, usually. Y'all come up and hang out one night at the room.
Yeah, done deal.
We got a big couch, good, ain't it, Craig?
You don't have to ask us but once.
Yeah.
We're there.
Yeah.
So
I might walk in a little afraid because you guys are so scary looking.
Right.
No, but this is a total side note, but I follow this kid on YouTube. His channel is called Art of Guitar, and he's just great. He gives lessons and just does all kinds of cool content. He's got a huge channel,
right.
And he did a channel about something in the era of the late 80s, early 90s, and he gave his 3 bands he liked the most, and you were one of them.
Wow.
Yeah. Really, and he pulled up a picture of you guys from back in there. Yeah,
that's
and
cool.
I saw that. I was like, no shit, that's so great. And he's up in Minnesota.
Right.
Yeah.
So there you go.
That's about right. We up in there a lot.
So you did a lot of Midwest stuff?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why? Why do you think the Midwest was so...
I don't know. I think it's our voice or something. I don't know. They just... I don't know. We have fun up there, don't we?
We do. You think it's the Southern accent?
That and just the way, I guess the way we are. I don't know. We're so sweet.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah, sweethearts. Every mother's nightmare.
Hey, Craig was standing out in front of the bus one night, and we were up somewhere up there, and these people come walking by the bus, and they go, man, them guys were partying their ass off up there. And Craig goes, I didn't have the heart to tell them every one of y'all's old ass was sleeping there.
I'm sure there's some stories on some buses there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We've got a couple.
So I went on your Spotify, and man, you got a good amount of followers, and man, God, your top 5 songs are thousands of listens. And I saw that Walls Come Down as your top one at 144,000 listens. That's awesome.
That was our first one. The first song off of, what was it, Resurrect the Faithful?
Yeah, I believe so.
Breathe. We threw that out on YouTube, and first day it was 182,000.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
And I was like, and then COVID hit. I was waiting on. I was trying to get the next record out. Come on, the next single now.
Yeah, ride the wave, right?
Yeah.
But Walls was that was Headbangers Ball. That was really what got you guys started.
Oh, let's talk about that. So you're a Headbangers Ball, MTV. Did you actually go and meet with what was his name?
Ricky Rackman. I played his club. Yeah. I met him a couple times.
So were you on his show, Headbangers Ball?
No, we were on the show, but I didn't physically go on the show.
Like not an interview,
no,
but the song they played.
They put it. They had that thing where they would put us up with who were against. I think Faster Pussycat or something like that. So,
cool.
we was on there for a minute, and we got invited to Playboy Mansion. And that was cool. So that was.
That was cool.
Yeah.
I didn't want to go to Ricky Rackman's after that.
We would like photos from the Playboy Mansion visit that we can throw up on the podcast.
Yeah, right. Yeah, get us kicked off Facebook, YouTube. Well, man, this has been a pleasure, man, and I'm looking forward to seeing y'all play and again. But seriously, man, when you start thinking about ways to roll out your new material, give us a call. We'll help you with that as best we can. We would love to collaborate with you on that.
We appreciate you talking to us.
Man, thanks for coming. Like I said, this is a big deal to me. I've followed you for years.
It's a good day.
Great to meet you in person and talk to you. And
y'all got to come out for rehearsal though.
Absolutely,
dude.
We're doing
anytime, man. You know?
Doing it.
We'll make Fever Tree jealous. The band's gonna start like wanting us everywhere. They're gonna be like, oh, we're already booked at this rehearsal, guys.
Right.
Sorry.
But we got pot roast.
There we go. I'm in. Well, before we say goodbye, let's talk to the audience a little bit, Jeff. And where can they find us again? Let's remind everybody what's up.
Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, Stitcher, and Apple Music. Click on the link tree. It'll take you wherever you want to go. And keep an eye out because we're going to try and get these guys to give us some new music to put on the podcast.
That's right. That's what I'm talking about. Mondays, 6 p.m. Central, Facebook and YouTube, full length audio that morning. Patreon, you check it out. Click that link. Join the tip jar. Join the tip. Yes, join the tip jar. Join the subscription and throw that $1 in the tip jar every month. We would appreciate that. We do clips all week. So we do a lot of things. We have a lot of fun. And again, SRP Studios and Shelby Road Productions kind of fuels this for right now. But yeah, awesome, Rick. It's been a pleasure.
May I say one thing before
of course. Say whatever you want.
EMN.rocks, new website.
Yeah,
check it out. Yeah,
for sure. And we'll have all that in our link to the episode where people will know where to go.
We're shitty hosts.
We are.
But yeah, we have all your links. I'm going to have your YouTube link, your Spotify link, everything. It's already ready.
And this is not the only time you'll be here. We tell every guest we want them back multiple times because you can't look. You got a 35-year career. We can't cram all that into an hour. So we're going to have you back to talk more things, and we want to hear about road stories and all the crazy stuff that happens.
You got it. Well, again, thanks, Rick. Take care.
Thank
y'all.
Thanks, guys.
See ya.
Bye-bye.